Hi there, welcome to Flat Earth Philosophy, another video on a bit of information regarding our flat earth. All left for us, all the information is left for us from the ancients. The people that have way more brains than us, they've been through the cycle, they achieved the ultimate. Somehow that cycle ended and we've been moving through our cycle. So we haven't yet woken up, we're about to wake up, we're in the cycle of Aquarius, the golden era, where we all get to know everything, and it's all coming to light if you just get on YouTube, especially the flat earth. So anyway, today's video is about the moon. Could be a shocker for some people, so you might want to sit up and or relax and hold your mother's hand or something. It might freak some people out, and most of you won't believe it, but it's a fact, unknown fact obviously, and that is the moon. It's not spherical, it's not convex disc, it's concave, concaved, it's facing us as a bowl. It's mentioned heaps of times in esoteric knowledge and script information. So just bear that in mind. I first realised this when I was in London. I went to this moon exhibition while I was there. Just down the road from a NASA exhibition actually. I went to that as well. What a joke. You know what they were doing? They were sending busloads of children in. They were about this big. 6, 7-year-old children marching in to this bullshit NASA show. It wasn't even a show, it was just all this old crap. I don't know how the kids would find it interesting. They wouldn't. It's just indoctrinating them at an early age. It was disgusting. Anyway, the moon, they had this big moon there. And I looked at it. Massive photo. And then, now and then, well, when I first walked in, I saw it, and instead of seeing the craters like we all see the craters, you know, being convexed, it was all, I was seeing it all concaved. They're like blisters. Actually looked like small moons. Actually floating off the surface of the actual moon. And that's when it hit me. I thought, hell, maybe we're all looking at it wrong. Maybe it's actually all concaved. So anyway, I'll read this post. I just threw this up on YouTube. How many people can resonate with the fact that the celestial bodies we see are not only not spherical or even convex discs, but they are concave? Well, it's an unknown fact, believe it or not. So some people now will think, especially flat earthers, that this means that what they thought was light from the... No, they didn't think that. It was these spinning ballers. That they thought the light from the sun was hitting the moon's outer surface, which in flat earth world we know it's the moon's self-illuminating, which it is, which was total BS here I've got, will be the light coming in from the opposite direction, hitting the inside top edges of the moon, or going inside. But even this is not quite right, because the moon is self-illuminating. But it is a reaction from another source. The other source is the black hole centre, you see. The centre of the universe. That's the centre. You've got the sun on its horizon. Then you've got the moon out here, wherever, on its cycle out. And see, the sun itself will dissolve the moon. That's the part of the moon you don't see, the phasing. This part out here. It's the black hole creating the shadow. So you can think of this as the building, and the sun building shadow. So the self-illuminating moon is created from the black hole. Okay? The sunny side dissolves the moon. That's why when the moon goes right into new moon, it's right on the face of the sun. You don't see it. self-learning, but it's a reaction from another source, another long story, but I've done videos on that. The dark spots on the moon are just unmanifested moon. It's phasing, it's forming its skin. You know it's all munted down here, don't you, when it's forming. And as it expands, it finishes up as a nice smooth moon, doesn't it? There's no termination line for a shadow of the earth here. It's garbage. You've probably seen a lot of pictures of it. These big daggy bits come right out. I've even got them. So it's just after all, look at the smooth full moon. Like any light source, the moon is frequency based, because everything up there is frequency based. It's all Chaldean, okay? Resonating frequencies. Numerology, the moon is the feminine, it's feminine, it's the male, female, proton, electron, feminine, the 9. 9 is the holiest of numbers, because it represents the centre. 9 in Chaldean numerology, and astrology or numerology, it's 18. I don't know where they get all their numbers from, but understand this. Go back to the beginning. Babylonian, Eden Prior. They know what they're talking about. We need to get back to this. The moon is frequency based. Or you could say alchemical, or think of quantum mechanics as an electron and a proton. You know, the planets, the moon, they're all electrons. It's only the sun, there's only one proton, that's the sun. There's only one sun in the universe. It's even written, God gave his only begotten son. But that's the Trinity. We're talking about the one son of man, his pineal gland, when it wakes up, gives him the light. The son of earth, and the religious story. As like an SUN. Right. Ancient texts such as philosophy, I missed something here, chemical, quantum mechanics, it all comes back to the same thing, okay? Solar luminescence, right? Because it all comes back to light and water. Everything is from water. Earth, the magnetic field of Earth, looks, they say oyster. But look, there's a seashell. You get an ancient in there. Seashells like that. Everything starts in the water and works its way up and turns into gas, different states, gets drawn in and recycled back down in the Buford Gaia, the beautiful fresh water. Hits the sun, it starts dripping. Tears. That's the tears, shedding tears, and Homer, the Iliad, Odyssey, all those mythological stories, a lot of tears being shed. And the woman, they're always referring to woman in all religious stories, philosophy, Homer, a lot of woman, because they're talking about the celestial bodies. All these celestial bodies are feminine, female. Electrons, they're all woman. He's the only male, the real sun, and then they talk about the sun, all sorts of names for the Son of Man who's been enlightened, because the whole story is about that as well. Ancient texts such as philosophy, religion, myths and legends all mention the woman a lot, because the woman represents the electron, and all the planets and moon are electrons. Only one proton, which is the sun. All the suns, S-O-N-S, mentioned in these stories are the sons, S-U-N-S, of men. The past enlightened ones who have come into the light via their pineal gland being awoken fully. These are the ones that go on to be on the right hand side of God and all that sort of stuff, because they don't get reincarnated again. They've made it, they've got their free pass go. Man's son, S-U-N, son of man, it's the pineal gland, see? Son of man. Man has his sun, earth has his sun, and we're totally connected with the earth. And there's things with the moon. In regards to the moon, does ring a bell? Ring a bell. They talk about the moon, the bell rings like a bell. It's like a bell because it's convex. caved sound into there. Nothing's physical up there anyway, but this is the weird thing. You've got to think of the Trinity, okay? You've got to think of the non-physical, realise it's non-physical, but in our understanding, it's frequency-based and creating sounds, okay? So what about hollow moon, hollowed out? What about holy mother? She's the mother. He's the father, she's the mother. She's the one who gives birth, creates it, she gives birth. Just like down on earth here. The holy cup, it's a cup. What about 3 days in the belly? There's a spiritual story of man's awakening, because that 3 days in the belly is the belly, and that's to do with the moon being in Pisces, but more to that. What about 3 days in the belly of Jonah? The belly of a whale, big fat belly, I don't know. But whale is sort of touching on the fact the moon was in Pisces for 3 days at that time. To do with fishes. What about the old nursery rhymes of the smiling crescent moon? Where is the face coming out from? It's coming out from in here, in this way. This way. Mother, Mary, is Mother Moon, or Maya, or Magdalene, even Maru. Look them all up, break them all down. It is the moon that gives spiritual rebirth, virgin birth to man. She is the negative of the sun. The woman in religion is depicted badly because she, the moon, is responsible for all men's spiritual awakenings as he sleeps at night. She, the moon, sleeps with many men. This is why, she's the whore. And that's why they speak of the woman badly in religion. You've got to understand the whole flipping model. We know there's a certain radical, nutty group of religious people out there treat their women really badly. This is why the moon moves out and across the planets, the plane, ecliptic plane, planets, and back again each month. She's searching out for the perfect man who is in the perfect balance to take him home. Taking them home, that's back to singularity. This place where we come from, we go back to. If you win, wake this thing up. Our entire existence is based on celestial movements and the zodiac. The 4 pillars are the 4 cardinal points in the zodiac that meet at the center of creation. The moon is just another trick of the human brain, or trick on the human brain, that only a few will ever realise. But you should realise the Freakmasons know all this and know how easily fooled the masses can be and easily manipulated with their BS. P.S. Even the so-called craters on the moon are actually blisters or concave. Well, that was it, folks. So you start imagining you're looking at the inside of the moon. You're not looking at a bulge. It's certainly not spherical. That's just spinning globe garbage. Our chemical phasing, all chemical reactions up there, that's where alchemy comes from. That's all regarding the celestial movements up there. Now, what I've done here, I've just drawn how our realm appears. There's northern hemisphere, tropics, southern hemisphere. So it all comes out of the centre, the black hole, the centre of creation we can't get to, inside here. And here, the black hole centre, which is This is inside the Milky Way. There's your dead centre or the black hole. Then you've got this, I haven't drawn it right. Anyway, that should be all the black hole. That's all black hole. That would all be black hole. That's the plane of inertia, state of rest there, because all the action's around the horizon here. That's where the sun's created. And you've got the ring of fire, they call it. Or they're supposed to call it that, because that's what it is. So the black hole gets thrown out here to the south. Inside edge of the ring of fire. Inside Cancer. Outer edge is Capricorn. Exploded image of what's in here. And then of course it goes out the other side. It's all around, isn't it? It's a Taurus field. Inside is Cancer, Venus and Mercury and new moon. Outside is Capricorn, Saturn and full moon. So the full moon wanders all the way out. We said come out here to the Saturn, winds all the way back in. That's what it's doing back in here in creation. But it spirals out, because we see it go around the flat earth. Well, we don't actually, but it's around here, isn't it? So it's spiralling out from the inside, working its way around, spirals all the way out to the outer edge. Meets up with Saturn. That's the ultimate human experience and spiritual awakening. And you've got a full moon that's out in Saturn. Okay, that's how it works. Now here's the magnetic field lines, right? So you get the northern hemisphere in here. It's now mirrored out here. It's out here. So you get a curve out of there. It's curving out of here. It's curving out of the south to that way. It's curving out of the north to this way. And in the Iliad, it talks about this as well. You have to be on your meridian within that hour to see the same star. They are the same stars. You've got to be on your meridian at the same hour. They're all on your star. That's on your meridian at that time on the hour when everything's lined up. Dead north to south. That's why we always get an image from north to south. But yeah, stars, they do a cardioid cycle. So if you're directly or close to the north here, and you're doing a star trail, you'll film the stars do almost a full rotation, but they go so far and then disappear because they're winding back down, and then they wind back up to be in the same place the next night. That's the cardioid motion. They'll do a rotation right around like this, and then go back in. That's what they're doing. They're going down. So they come out like this, then wind in, and then wind back out. Winding in, winding out, winding in, winding out. That's what they're doing all the time. Because they're magnetically locked inside this vortex in there. The sun's stuck in the middle. He doesn't go anywhere. Even physics knows the proton's fixed there. And there's another thing. I'm going to do a video on this. Miko Kaku, the universe in a nutshell. I'm going to break it all down and show you how it all works on this flat earth, what it really is. And at the end of the day, I think these so-called science wannabes and physicists will start to understand how flat earth really works, because they have no clue. That's why you can't debate with them. It's just a waste of time because they don't know anything. They're in la-la land. So anyway, I'll just tell you, I've created a Patreon page. So if anyone's willing to donate to all my work, it would be greatly appreciated, because I don't have an income. And what I'm going to do is, through that Patreon page, I'm going to break down the entire Homer story, the Odyssey and the Iliad. Firstly with the Odyssey, because the Odyssey breaks down the entire flat earth model to the fine, well, it's fine details, whether I can explain it to make it come out that way. but it's all explained, everything I've done. So I'll still do my normal videos for free. You know, I've got a lot of information, man. It's just flowing all the time. I could do hundreds of videos a day if I had the time, but I don't have the time. So yeah, so that's it. So yeah, check it out on Patreon page there. And we'll talk about things later. Plenty to come. Cheers. Thanks for watching.